What's up, guys? Today, I'm gonna talk about Hindenburg Research, and why? Because today they have announced that they're closing their doors, and it's very interesting what they did and what can we learn. Actually, there's some great information about them, the process, but also like the note that was written by the creator, by Nate. And yeah, let's just go through the note and analyze so we can learn because we can always learn about all those elements that I was gonna show you. This one. Okay, so you go to Hindenburg. It's called a personal note from our founder. Okay, very nice. It says, as I have shared with family, friends, and our team since late last year, I made the decision to disband Hindenburg Research. Very sad news. The plan has been to wind up after we finish the pipeline of ideas we were working on. And as the last Ponzi cases we just completed and are sharing with regulators, that day is today. This is similar. They said that everything has a beginning and an end. And in this case, Hindenburg's research has come to an end. I write this from a place of joy. Building this has been a live stream. I didn't know at the outside if it would be possible to find a fulfilling path. This wasn't an easy option, but I was naive to the danger and felt drawn to it magnetically. So it's very interesting because when we start projects, things, we doubt ourselves all the time. And he reflects upon that. When I started this, I doubted I was capable. I didn't have a traditional finance background. None of my relatives are in this field. I went to a state school. I'm not a slick salesperson. I don't know any of the right clothes to wear. I can play golf. I'm not some superhuman that can function on 4 hours of sleep. Oh man. I really love, for example, to sleep 7 or 8 hours. Really is the best. In most of my jobs, I was a good worker, but mostly looked over. Okay, so check this. A lot of people are looked over, but that doesn't mean that that's their ending point. Actually, that could be the starting point of their lives. So he says, I had no money when I started, and after catching 3 lawsuits out of the gate, I quickly had less than no money. This is how he began one of the most profitable investment funds in the world. I would have failed right at the starting line had it not been for the support of world class whistleblower lawyer Brian Wood, who took the cases on despite my lack of financial resources. So you have to find someone that trusts in you, someone that believes in what you're doing. In that case, Nate is thanking Brian. I had a newborn child and was facing eviction at the time. I was terrified, but knew that if I stayed still, I would crumble. The only option I had was to keep moving forward. That's it. That's life because it reminds me in Rocky, I think it's what Rocky 4, Rocky 5, the famous phrase that Rocky is there with his son and his son is angry with Rocky. I think it's Rocky 5. And then Rocky said, I remember when you were this side, you were so small. And then when you grow up, me and my mother and your mother felt this boy is gonna make amazing things in life. And then you grew stronger, and then in one point you get lost. And then he said, it doesn't matter how hard you hit. What matters is how hard you can get hit and keep moving forward. That's how winning is done. So it doesn't matter if you, uh, because life is gonna hit harder than you. So you have to keep moving forward. That's how winning. That's Sylvester Stallone. I think Rocky 4, Rocky 5, talking to his son. Very interesting one. It is very easy to succumb to negative thoughts and believe what others think of you, especially when things feel low. Very interesting what Nate's saying is like, yeah, it's like if you're not succeeding and people are just saying things about you, it's like, oh shit, it's complicated. It's complicated. But the interesting thing, but it is possible to shatter all of that. I was passionate about this and I let it carry me forward despite my fears and insecurities. Every human has fears, every human has insecurities, but the ones that succeed are the ones that keep moving forward. Beautiful. And this is slowly starting to flourish. Slowly, slowly. Interesting there. One at a time, and without a clear plan, we built a team of 11 incredible people. I hired each one of them, not because we needed workers, but because when our paths crossed and I could see who they were, I realized it was madness not to bring them on. Very interesting way of recruiting people, managing talent, human resources. It's like he didn't say I'm gonna just hire people. No, it's like if he met the right people, he will hire them. They're all smart, focused, and fun to work with. Very interesting. Little to no ego. This is very weird in the financial sector, especially in those hedge funds, investment funds, quant funds. Oh god. Actually, I have found a lot of people in Google. Oh, a lot of ego. When you meet them, they're all very nice and polite, but when it comes to this field, they're ruthless assassins capable of world class work, like me. Our team didn't come from traditional finance backgrounds. My first hire often describes himself as a former bartender. Imagine that. We all have shared view of the world, a mostly calm exterior, and a similar burning underlying intensity. They are all family to me. We have all worked extremely hard with a focus on precision and letting the evidence dictate our worlds. Okay? Evidence. It's not just, oh, I just want to do things. No, it's like, what is the evidence, dude? Okay? Sometimes this means taking big swings and taking out fights that are much bigger than any of us individual. Fraud, corruption, and negativity often seem overwhelming. Early on, a sense of justice was usually elusive. When it happened, it was tremendously fulfilling. I kept it going when we didn't need it. It just reminds me the TV series that I'm watching right now, um, Goliath. Look, when it happened, it was tremendously fulfilling. Very interesting. And boy, did we have an impact. Eventually, more than I imagined it was possible at the outside. Nearly 100 individuals have been charged civilly or criminally by regulators, at least in part through our work, including billionaires and oligarchs. We shook some empires that we felt needed shaking. That was the interesting thing about Hidenburg Research. Hmm? It's like, man, against the billionaires, against the all powerful people. Oh, that's interesting. Very interesting. Um, and I've just seen tweets about that process, especially the record. And interesting. Uh, let's see. Beyond my own desire for relief, it also feels selfish to keep the knowledge we have accumulated trapped within our small team. I have more than enough. In the past several years, we have been flooded with thousands of messages from many of you asking how we do what we do or whether you can join the team. I read them all and I've been trying to figure out how to respond in a way that can answer everyone. So, over the next 6 months or so, I plan to work on a series of materials and videos to open source every aspect of our model and how we conduct our investigations. I think that will be a very interesting material that as soon as it releases, I'm gonna analyze and share with you guys. My hope is that after we fully share our process in a couple of years, I will get an unsolicited message from someone who reads this, maybe you, very interesting, who embraces the same passion, learns the crap, and finds the confidence to shed some light on a subject that needs it, despite the obstacles in your way. That will make my day, even if I'm off trying to learn music or planting a garden or whatever I end doing next. And then when I was checking some tweets, uh, like the Hindenburg Impressive Records, 51 of the 63 companies, okay, that they did their research are at a lower price. Remember, they were short selling companies. So they did their research, then they bought a short position, and then they published their research. And if the research was correct and other people took it, well, the stock will go down, correct? So the more reds that you can see, the better or the best. Hindenburg Research, uh, what do you call it here? So I can record. So I can show you a better image because I think that image is not so good. Um, mm, yeah. So that's what I wanted to share with you guys. Very interesting. Yeah, I think this is better. For example, companies such as Opera, S Works, Nicola. I remember Nicola. They short Nicola. I thought about Nicola before, and I knew it was such a BS company, but they did the research. So yeah, it's very important that more companies do this type of research. Of course, they will not always be right, but just have to be right once. So yeah, very interesting. I really like it. Three-fourths of the calls by Hindenburg Research have led to a stock crash. Crazy, no? Yeah. What I haven't found is how much money they made with this. Because even when I asked Perplexity or Search, didn't found the information. Um, and also, what are people gonna do? That's gonna be also another interesting one. But sorry, guys, I'm sleepy. Yeah, that's what I wanted to share with you. Thank you very much for tuning in. I'm gonna remember I publish every single day. I analyze the data. I show you the data. I go through stocks. Um, remember Gautam Adani, one of the richest guys in the world? Well, Hindenburg Research in 2023, they did 413 pages report um, that made them lose more than $59 billion. Yeah. Oh, thank you for your question. So they're asking me, when researching stocks on your own, what kind of information are you looking for, and what are some green flags and red flags for looking at different stocks? Great question. Thank you very much, Johnny. So remember that stocks, in my case, and I'm gonna give you an example. Um, let's say Nubank. So first of all, for example, I will go I will check the stock just to do. I'm gonna show you my process. Okay. So let's say I go to Nubank stock, new holdings. Okay. First, I want to see, not now, but in the max, like what has been the history of that stock. Okay. So for example, Nubank is a very young stock. When they did their IPO, they went an 11. Now they're lower than the IPO. Think about that. Okay. So I will do a historical analysis and say, oh, Nubank, it's just a couple of years, but this has been the progress. Okay. So this has shown that this is still a young stock. It's a medium-sized company, $53 billion in market cap. And then I will check the financials. Okay. And to check the financials, I really like Perplexity. So I will put new holdings financials. And then what Perplexity does, I don't know if you're watching. Yes, good. It will show all the elements. So for example, now I can start seeing their Q3 2024 was 56% gross profit. So I will analyze all their financial data. Okay. Then what I will do is like understand what do they do. And in that case, well, it's like new holdings, investor relations. Normally you put investor relations and you will read, I will go and read the results. In this case, because I want to understand what is the vision of the company, not only what they're telling me. So I will watch either a webinar or something. Let's see. Let's see where we can find information. Okay. Let's see, download the documents. So I will go through all these documents and analyze this data. Okay. And then I will go to Twitter and then I will see what are people talking about the new stock. So in this case, Nubank is new. Okay. And when I will just read, for example, this guy has it on his radar. He's doing some technical analysis. Okay. So he's using Fibonacci targets of 20 and 27. Now the stock is at 10, so it's at 2x from a technical analysis standpoint. Here, this guy is doing his own analysis, and then I will read it. And this is very interesting because it shows me what are people interested in that. I know Nubank for years. Then I will compare with other banks in the region. And then I will analyze who's behind it. And for example, one of the key things that you find on Nubank is that Warren Buffett invested in Nubank before the IPO, I remember. But he has reduced his stake by 19.5%. Okay, so it's not a good news. Okay, then I will check Motley Fool. And then I will analyze why Buffett sold part of it. Not right now. Okay. Fuck. I hate this. Whatever. Whoever created cookies is the worst human on earth. Okay. And then after understanding what is the perception, what are the financial, one of the key things is that what will be the driver for the stock to go up. So is that technical driver? It's a market driver. What are the drivers of the stock? And each sector has a different driver. For example, one good thing that they did here is that they have 100 million users, and they're gonna be number one in Latin America. So I will read customer reviews about Nubank. For example, now they're implementing stable coins rewards. So this is very interesting because as a digital bank, now they're becoming a bank that is using advanced technology, And then if they keep in this way, then I will compare to other banks such as Bank of America, how much it has grown the stock, and then I will know what kind of company it could be. So depending on that, then I will have a long time strategy, medium time strategy, or short term strategy. For example, Nubank, I always said that it's a long-term strategy, it's a 10 to 15 years type of stock, compared to other stocks that you can just literally buy and wait a couple of months and just sell for an exit. So yeah, that's the way that I will do it. In red flags, the red flags I will know by going to Twitter and really see what are the comments, what are people talking about. I also watch some YouTube videos to see what other analysis are people doing it. And yeah, and that's the process that I will take. Thank you very much. So I'm gonna post more companies that I'm analyzing right now, and the ones that I analyze, I normally tell you if it's a long term, medium term, or short term strategy. Yeah, thank you very much, and please subscribe and share and keep asking questions. Thank you very much. Appreciate it.